Hello.
Hello.
And welcome back to another episode of Stephen Shows Myah Movies.
Yes, but this one is a special episode, a follow-up of our Barbie Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer Barbie.
Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer.
And it's been a long time coming. We literally watched those movies when they came out, July 21st, and it's now March 2024.
Yeah.
We saw those movies July 2023.
It's been a while. But now we've both seen the opposite one.
Yeah. And we both saw them in theaters as well.
Yes.
So that was cool.
We got the full experience. In Oppenheimer, we saw an IMAX.
Yes.
Which was really fun. 70 millimeter. The screen was huge.
Yes. So we saw Oppenheimer the way it should have been seen.
Yes.
Or that's what they said, right?
Yep.
It was to be watched on that big screen.
Yeah, because you get all the details and all the images and all the sound.
I think they're saying that about Dune too.
Dune Part 2.
They say you should watch it in IMAX. But anyway.
This is Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Okay. So which one do you want to start with first?
I think we started with Barbie last time.
Okay.
So let's start with Barbie again.
Okay. So
it was fun. It was an enjoyable watch.
Yeah.
That's like, I enjoyed watching it. It was a good time.
It's a fun movie. I think it's fun.
It's very weird and strange.
Yeah, I remember asking you if that's what you expected it to be, and I think you said no.
No, especially the Ken part.
Yeah.
Like his storyline. I did not expect that to happen.
Yeah, the movie is kind of like... Well, I feel like with the marketing, like, we didn't really know what to expect at all going into the movie.
That's another thing. Like, the marketing made it out to seem that it was, like, this, like, kid-type movie, mostly. Because it's about Barbie.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, like, the trailers didn't really expose anything about the plot. Like, no. I think it was just, like, clips of Barbie and stuff. Like, it wasn't anything.
Yeah, it was just, like, here's the first 10 minutes, kind of. Here's a few snippets from, like, other bits from the movie that, like, you can just take out of context and you won't be able to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, that's actually one of the points I wanted to make, is the amount of advertising done for Barbie was actually crazy. Because, like, I'm thinking back to, like, when it first, like, before it came out, the amount of, like, marketing they had, like, I know they had, like, collaborations with, like, brands to make, like, products, and then I remember they had, like, I went to a parade, and they had, like, Barbie, like, on, like, people wearing Barbie shirts on skates doing, like, routines. Like, it was, like, crazy, like, the marketing for it. And I feel like Oppenheimer didn't have any marketing, really. Like, no. I can't really remember.
One thing about Oppenheimer, well, one thing about Christopher Nolan is that every cent spent on the movie is for the on-screen image. So, like, any, like, advertising or, like, behind-the-scenes stuff, there isn't much. Because he wants every penny to be pushed into the film itself.
I wonder what the budget was for each of them.
We have the internet.
You're right. Okay, let's check to see. You check Oppenheimer, I'll check Barbie.
Okay.
The budget was $145 million.
Wow. That's interesting. Because for Oppenheimer, it's $100 million. That's estimated.
Okay, so they're kind of like, well, Barbie's way more expensive, which makes sense because they probably put a lot of that into marketing.
Actually, when you do budget for movies, you typically take the estimated budget and then double it. So for Oppenheimer, it would be $200 million. And then for Barbie, that would be about $300 million. For Barbie, that could probably just put $200 million just for advertising itself. And it still costs $100 million to actually make.
That makes sense.
So they're probably like both on par, but Barbie has the more advertising.
Yeah, Barbie spent a lot more. Yeah, I think the marketing budget was $150 million.
Yeah, that makes sense.
One of the biggest marketing budgets in Hollywood history, which I feel like makes sense.
It's clearly evident.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't even know, like, how this Barbenheimer thing started. I think someone just made a post about, like,
it's the internet. The internet is a powerful thing.
It is. They were like, look, this movie comes out and this movie comes out. And they're opposite aesthetics. Look at that. Ha ha. They're both, like, released on the same day. And then...
I don't think the Barbie and Oppenheimer, those filmmakers and advertisers, would have thought to do that themselves. Because I think I saw an interview of, like, someone saying, yeah, we never expected, like, Barbenheimer to become a thing. But it just happened and helped them even more.
Yeah, it was, like, an accidental blessing for them because it boosted. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sure that more people went to see Oppenheimer and more people went to see Barbie than, like,
anticipated. Yeah.
Because, like, I feel like I would not really see... Like, for me, Oppenheimer was not something that I even, like, asked for or, like, wanted to know
I didn't ask for Oppenheimer. He was just there.
Like, I feel like it was such a random movie. Like, okay, in my perspective, I thought it was a very random movie to make. And I feel like there was a lot of people that were interested in that movie. And I was so confused why they would be interested in that.
And like, the thing is... I'm opposite of that. I'm like, why would anyone want to see Barbie? I mean, Oppenheimer, like, come on.
That's funny to me. But anyway.
That's why we do this.
That's true. Okay, yeah, another thing I wanted to talk about Barbie was what, like, a cool, like, experience it was outside of the theater. Like, it was a good movie to watch, like, and it was entertaining. But I think, like, the excitement of, like, dressing up to go see it or, like, wearing, like, pink...
Oh, yeah.
Like, made it more
like,
of,
you
like...
go in there with a tux?
No, well, actually, my sister did, like, a Barbie Oppenheimer, like, dual showing, and she, like, dressed in pink for Barbie, and then, like, wore, like, a suit and tie for Oppenheimer. I think some people did that, but I think most people just saw Oppenheimer without dressing up.
Yeah, you know, you just go see a movie in
a
theater.
I thought Barbie was fun because, like, there was the whole dressing up, and when you went to the theater, you could see who was going to see Barbie because they were wearing pink.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I went to see Barbie, waiting in line in the bathroom, like, a lot of people were there just wearing pink, and I thought it was really cool. It was, like, a very fun, like, I don't know, it made life more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cool social experience.
Yeah.
I felt like you were inside of, like, part of the inside joke, I guess.
Part of the inside joke that Barbie exists.
Yeah, so that was fun. I like that about the movie. I feel like that's very unique to that movie. Like, I don't know. Well, I don't know if you remember this, but back in the day when people, like, there was, like, midnight premieres of, like, Harry Potter or, like,
and they all, like, dressed up and such.
Or, like, like Hunger Games. Yeah. People would dress up
and, like,
for those premieres.
Like, wands or lightsabers if it was Star Wars. Yeah.
But I feel like that doesn't really happen anymore.
No, because, like, people don't go to the theater anymore to see movies.
Yeah, probably because
this Barbie and Oppenheimer, they started, hopefully, getting people back into the theater again. Because that's where you want to experience and, like you said, go and see all these people in, like, these, like, costumes or just this social experience of being in a place where all these people are going to enjoy this film for what it is.
Yeah, I thought that was cool because actually I never was one of those kids that, like, dressed up to see, like, a movie.
Yeah, me neither.
When I was younger, so this was kind of my first time doing that, and it was really fun. So, I thought that was cool. And then I know that Barbie won an Oscar for set design, I think?
I think that was Poor Things, both of those.
Oh, what did they win?
I think Barbie won for song.
I thought they won for set design, too. Hold on.
We have the internet. We will look. Don't worry, internet. We know you exist.
Set design.
But
maybe they were nominated for set design.
Yeah, probably that.
Oh, yeah. They were nominated. But they weren't... Oh, also Oppenheimer was nominated.
Oppenheimer was nominated for, like, everything.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I was talking to my friend because he saw Oppenheimer, but he thought that Oppenheimer didn't deserve all the
First
Oscars.
Grammys, now Emmys.
Yeah, I know. I keep mixing up the awards. I forget what he, like, agreed that RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. Deserved his Oscar.
Mm-hmm. They're very good. Very good.
Like, I think practical effects deserve the Oscar. Is that a category?
Visual effects is, but because it's practical, Oppenheimer, all the stuff was practical. Besides, like, some compositing things of layering things on the screen. I don't think it would have won because it's practical and not, like, visual. Because, like, for visual effects, I think it was, like, Guardians of the Galaxy and probably a few others, but, like, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.
That movie came out this year?
Apparently, yeah.
What the heck? I didn't even know that. Wait. I'm gonna look up Oscar categories because I wonder. Oh, like, Best Picture. He said that Oppenheimer didn't deserve Best Picture.
Okay, then which one would have been that?
He said Killers of the Flower Moon.
It's so stupidly long for no reason.
Which I never saw, so I can't justify. Or, like... Oh, and I think he said Oppenheimer deserved the soundtrack.
Yeah, the score, absolutely.
Yeah, the score. And then the screenplay, what was the screenplay that won? I think it was Poor Things. Oh no, Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah, that one.
Wait, so did you watch Killers of the Flower Moon?
No, I just know that's very, very long.
How long is it?
I think it's like 3.5 hours or something.
Kind of how, like, Oppenheimer is really, really long.
Yeah, but Oppenheimer's 3 hours, and that's more palatable than 3.5, because that extra half hour is just...
Remember when movies weren't longer than, like, 2.5 hours, and now they're just, like, extending, like, the length? I feel like, honestly, that's a good thing, though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'd rather watch, like, a movie that doesn't feel rushed and the pacing is good than to watch a movie where they're trying to cram everything in 2 hours.
And that's one thing about Oppenheimer, which I like very much, is that it doesn't necessarily feel like 3 hours because the pacing and the editing moves so quickly.
Yeah, that was a point I was going to have about Oppenheimer. I think you said this before, but I was going to say that without, like, the cuts of, like, going back to, like, the past and the present and all that.
Yeah, the jump between timelines.
It would probably have been a boring movie.
Yeah, seeing it all chronologically.
Yeah.
Because the whole, like, hour and a half at the end of the movie would have been them in the little, like, trial
And that
courtroom.
would have been really boring. I do think, like, towards the end, I was getting kind of, like, antsy because it was just the trial.
Mm-hmm. The last, like, 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah, but I do think that it didn't feel like a long movie. Like, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think towards the end, I was like, okay.
Because I feel Killers of the Flower Moon, because it's Martin Scorsese, he likes...
I don't know anything.
At least I would think he would enjoy more, like, long cuts of just one scene happening and not cutting between so many things. So I would think that that movie would just be a bunch of long cuts strung together, and then it would just be kind of a drag.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know much about it, but
Yeah,
Martin
me either.
Scorsese
I
is
can't
sort of
speak to
like
that because I never saw it, but I do remember after watching Oppenheimer being a little confused about some things.
Yeah, that's because we missed the first, like, 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
I was confused. Well, okay, there's two things I was confused on. I was confused by who Robert Downey Jr. was.
Yeah, that would have been explained if we saw the beginning.
And I know, like, he screwed Oppenheimer over because he tried to get rid of his security clearance, but one, why is it so bad to have your security clearance removed? Like, I feel like that's not, like, a life and death, like,
well,
dangerous.
because Oppenheimer was so advocative, that's not the right word, such an advocate for an open world in the sense of everyone being able to communicate and give information freely to each other, like all countries and such. He wanted all the countries to be able to talk and communicate about atomic energy and atomic weapons and be able to have everyone agree on to never use them again and to never develop them further. Because he was against the idea of building the H-bomb, the hydrogen bomb, which is the next step after what they created, the atomic bomb. And Louis Strauss, he was very open to the idea, along with Edward Teller, who in the film Oppenheimer, we saw him talk about the idea of a fusion bomb.
Right,
and he was like, well, Oppenheimer said to him, well, what do you need a fusion bomb first, though? What do you need before a fusion bomb? He said, a fission bomb. He's like, all right, let's focus on building the fission bomb first. And him and Louis Strauss, Edward Teller, that is, they were very interested in building that fusion bomb and being ahead of the Russians during the Cold War by just this, like, because they weren't talking with each other, the Russians and Americans. They just wanted to be able to, like, guess where they were in the stages of creating these weapons. So they just wanted to be ahead to, like, drive that fear to stop them as a deterrent. But, you know, it's always going to build up because competition always wants to be the better and better and better. So Louis Strauss was very against the idea of Oppenheimer, who was against the idea of building a bomb. And it was just this whole thing. And that led to Oppenheimer losing his security clearance. And if he doesn't have a security clearance, then he doesn't have any say in any of the Atomic Energy Commission
okay, so he wanted to make sure he wanted
a say in what was happening in the world.
Because he killed people. Well, not him, but
indirectly, yes. He felt guilt about it.
Okay, so that makes sense.
But the thing is, he never, like, said it directly, because if he said it directly, then he's openly saying that him making the bomb in the first place without understanding the consequences. If he were to go back, he would stop it, but he wouldn't, because if he did, then he would be like a hypocrite, and that's the whole thing. And it's the American Prometheus is a great book, and definitely a good read if you want to learn more about Oppenheimer, because what I just said in these past 2 minutes is all from the book.
Did you think you got that from the movie though? Like, do you think it was clearly?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Especially the second time around.
Yeah.
Because the first time around, it is a lot to just take in.
Yeah, because I feel like I was confused. Well, I don't who is RDJ?
RDJ is Louis Strauss.
But what's like
who
his...
is what's his title? He was the head of the institute at Princeton, and he was part of like.
Oh wait, they offered him a
officials.
job. They offered Oppenheimer a job, but Oppenheimer turned it down, right?
No, he agreed to it, but he was like, "I'm considering it," which just means yes to him.
Oh. But so wait, why was he against Oppenheimer so much?
Because
he betrayed him, right?
No, it was just being Oppenheimer. You know, it was just like understanding what his creation did and why it was so bad. And he then said, "Oh, we shouldn't do this anymore." As what Louis Strauss said, we should do this more so that we have this ability to protect ourselves from those who are going to make these things anyway.
No, so basically they just had different viewpoints on atomic weapons.
Yeah, and Louis Strauss is a very vindictive man and very,
He's a grudge. Holds grudges.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. And anxious as well.
And that's why he was so paranoid about what Oppenheimer said
yes.
to
Yep.
Albert Einstein.
Mm-hmm. Also, a few things like him talking to Albert Einstein. We have no idea if he actually had that talk with Albert Einstein. That's just Christopher Nolan going, all right, this is how Oppenheimer feels. Probably doesn't feel it in the moment, but we understand from the book and real-life interviews that he has this sort of regret that he doesn't necessarily express like through words, but rather like his eyes, clearly.
Yeah.
So it's possible that that conversation never happened, but, you know.
Interesting. And then the other thing that I thought was ambiguous... Oh, no. There was two more things I thought were ambiguous. One was Florence Pugh's murder, or I forget her name, actually, in the movie, but...
Jean Tatlock.
She was, like, Oppenheimer's side piece, sort of.
Side piece, yeah.
Like, he cheated on his wife with her.
Yeah.
But then didn't he also divorce and then remarry someone else?
Like in the movie?
Yeah, like... Or no, wasn't there, like, a second, like...
Well, Oppenheimer, he loved women.
Wasn't there, like, three women in the movie? Like...
Ruth Tolman was the other one, which you're probably thinking about.
Well,
because
they had a son or something?
No, they just had an affair. Because, like, they loved each other. But
then he had, a wife that they have a kid.
Yeah, Kitty Oppenheimer.
Oh, no, he got her pregnant, and then they got married, right?
Yep, yeah.
So so the movie showed, like, three different women with him, right?
Yeah, first it was Jean Tatlock. And then a little bit later, he met Kitty Oppenheimer. And he married him, and they had kids. And then some time down the road, he went to see Jean again. And then, like, later on in the film, we are, like, in the hallway outside of that little courtroom thing. And someone comes up to him and is like, "Does Kitty know about you and Ruth?" And there was, like, a comment about Ruth's husband dying to, like, a broken heart. And Oppenheimer makes a joke. Well, that's ridiculous. He never found out.
Oh. Okay, but, my question was...
Yeah, what was the question?
If whether Florence Pugh was like, they kind of, like, implied that she was murdered, like, she was killed by the Russians.
Yeah. Because
they thought she knew something because of her relations with Oppenheimer.
Yeah, because she was, like, considered to be a communist. I believe she was said to be a communist.
Oh, right. I forgot Oppenheimer, like, went to communist events.
Yeah, he was never a communist himself, but he participated in the ideas of a communist.
Because wasn't his brother a communist?
Yeah, he was.
And then his brother's wife was a communist as well.
And the reason why it's shown to be either a suicide or a murder for Jean, it's because in the book it's stated that it's difficult to understand what actually happened because there was a drug in her system that could have been like a toxin that you would give to people to, like, make them unconscious, and then you would do things. Or, like, she just took some pills because she was going through see a therapist, and it's just... Yeah. It's a toss-up between what actually happened.
Okay, so they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
And then, okay, the last one that I was confused about was who was the Russian spy?
That was, remember when the German man comes up and says, I'm the British person that's being transferred here. And Oppenheimer said, how long have you been British? Since Hitler told me I wasn't German. Even though he's a German man, but he went to British. He was the spy for Russia.
Okay.
I forget his name.
Does he die? Does he get killed for that?
I'm not entirely sure.
Interesting.
But probably gets reprimanded somehow, some way. Yeah. If he didn't, like, flee America.
Probably would have fleed. And then my last point about this movie was that the effects were awesome. The effects were awesome, and I think they did a good job on, like, the makeup for Oppenheimer himself, because he looked like death.
Yeah.
At the end.
Makeup is phenomenal in this film. And even the, like, costume design, too, just to make everyone look the age they're supposed to be in the time that they're supposed to be.
Yeah, that's true. The aging looked really good.
Because there's young Oppenheimer, which you see at the very beginning, and then there's old Oppenheimer, which you see at the very end, and then there's, like, every bit in between, and you can figure out what time period it is just based on the makeup and the, like, his haircut, too. Yeah.
I thought the makeup was really good, and he looked really creepy. Like,
well, something interesting to know about that, I forget who the makeup artist is, but they have, like, this IMAX camera, like, microscope type thing.
Yeah.
Where they, like, put it up to see, because they have to make sure that, because it's such a big screen, there's so much detail that can be seen, so they need to be, like, able to see every little detail close up. So they have, like, this magnifying glass type thing, and it's, like, made specifically to mimic an IMAX screen. And they look at it and make sure that all, like, the makeup details and whatnot are, like, pristine enough to be visible on an IMAX screen.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Wait, tell the people about the film for the movie.
Oh, you mean 70mm film, and the fact that Kodak had to develop their own black and white 70mm film, which never existed until this film. And it's crazy to think about, too, because, like, what? You had to make a film specifically for this movie that never existed before, and Christopher Nolan's like, yeah, we can do it. What?
I wonder, like, if part of the movie, like, how much of the budget went to that, or if, like, what was it, Kodak?
Yeah.
Polaroid Kodak?
Mm-hmm.
If they were just like, okay, we'll make it for you, you're Christopher freaking Nolan.
I mean, probably.
I wonder if that's, like, sold now. Like, if they're gonna just develop it.
I would think so. For Dune Part 2, I know there's a black and white sequence, I'm pretty sure. I know they film in IMAX 70mm, so it's possible they might have used it as well. But because it's all, like, digital effects, they might just do that via some other means. But
that's true.
It'd be interesting, though. Also, something else to know about Kodak is because their like manufacturing plant is, like, around Los Alamos, and during 1945 they were making film and such, and when they did the Trinity test and dropping the first atomic bomb, like, a bit of radiation hit their manufacturing plant, and it, like, little dots appeared on the film itself. So Kodak, like, knew that something was going on around the area with, like, something to do with atomic or radioactive energy. So, and now they're making film for Oppenheimer for the Trinity test.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So it's, like, full circle in a way.
Oh, wait. Okay, that actually reminds me, because when I was watching the movie, I noticed, like, little, like, scratches on the screen, and I think it was the film.
That's just the film, because we saw actual film go through a camera.
Okay, because I was like, at first I was like, oh, what is this? Like, I think it's, like, the screen itself, like, the IMAX screen is scratched. But then I was like, no, because it would disappear and then reappear. So I was like, okay, that was definitely, like, the film itself.
Yep.
I was like, interesting.
Mm-hmm. Because with digital, like with Barbie, I don't think we saw that.
No, because, it's not on film, so there's no way.
And the film for Oppenheimer is 11 miles long.
Oh, that's really cool. I wonder where that's kept, the original.
Probably somewhere safe.
Okay, back to Barbie.
Back to Barbie land. Okay, one thing I want to talk about with Barbie is the real world and Barbie Land. The real world doesn't feel all that real, but I think it works with what the story that's being told.
Yeah, there is, like, the reality. It's, like, weird because we don't really know, like Barbie Land is, like, a real place where the Barbies are real.
It's very strange.
And then, like, you can get to Barbie Land, and also humans can get to Barbie Land.
Yeah.
But, like...
And, okay, keep going back.
I'm also confused because they have, like, this box in their, like... high,
yeah, that
and then
too.
somehow, like, if Barbie went in it, she would go back to Barbie Land, but, like,
yeah,
I don't think that would happen.
In real life, no.
like, I wonder if they would just have, like, trapped her in the facility, and they, like, just wouldn't, like, have her out and about, or if they would have returned, like, I don't know what they were gonna do.
Well, that other Barbie, or whatever their Mattel character, that escaped at one point, and then...
Skipper?
Yeah, and then they returned. Right?
I don't remember. I think we see Skipper in Barbie Land, but I can't remember. I don't know if we do. We see Midge, the pregnant Barbie.
Yeah.
But, no, I don't even... Yeah, that was, like... It was very not realistic. Like, there was not, like...
Yeah, the cubicles, for one. They're just squares.
Yeah, also, like, yeah, the whole Mattel facility is, like, weird.
Yeah.
And, like, there's, like, a secret room with, like, the ghost of, like, the creator of Barbie, and then Barbie, like, meets her. It's very, like, strange. Fantastical and, like, unreal film. And I feel like that makes it, like, more fun.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a good choice.
Whatever with the story and whatnot.
Because they did all sorts of weird stuff with it, and, like, I don't know. It was just funny. Like, the way to get to and from Barbie Land is just, like, makes no sense, but... Yeah, but anyway, it was a fun watch, and I think I personally would not rewatch Oppenheimer, but I would rewatch Barbie.
Barbie is more palatable for, like, the general audience.
Yeah.
And Oppenheimer is more intense.
I think Barbie was more funny the second watch, but I do think that it wasn't as good of a movie the second watch.
Oh, that's interesting.
If that makes sense. Like...
How so?
Like, it was more funny, the jokes landed, but I feel like I thought, okay, wait, the movie was better the first time I watched it than the second time. Maybe because I noticed, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I feel like it was, like, it didn't hit as much.
Like the story itself? Or...
Yeah, like, maybe because I saw it, I don't know. I feel like the jokes were funny, but, like, the message wasn't as good the second time I watched it.
Strange.
If that makes sense.
Because Oppenheimer's the opposite.
For you.
Yeah. I mean, it should be for everyone, because that's the point of the film.
For me, I'm not going to watch Oppenheimer again. Too long. And I do think the sets and the costume design was good for Barbie.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Like,
they actually made the, like, houses and such. Like, as little, like, miniature play things.
Yeah.
But then they had to, like, re-digitalize everything to put it into the film itself.
Oh, really?
Hair, go away. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, no, I really like Margot Robbie's costumes. I do think they were Barbie costumes. Oh, yeah, so I remember at the end where there's, like, those men Barbies. There's, like...
Those men Barbies?
There's, like, Ken with an earring.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
there's some, like, an old gold digger one.
Oh, yeah.
Like, those were real, and Ken with the earring is supposed to be, like, a gay doll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that. Like, hold on, let me look it up. Ken. Like, those were real, like, dolls that were produced.
Yeah, that's one cool thing about Barbie, is that everything in the film is based on an actual product, either... like, now or discontinued or whatnot.
Yeah, Earring Magic Ken, also known as Gay Ken. And I think it was, like, intentionally made, like, for gay people? But I'm actually not sure. Yeah, the doll was a big hit in the gay community.
Oh, okay.
But the doll also received widespread backlash. So it was discontinued and recalled. I think it received backlash from, like, Christian people, though.
Oh.
Or, like, people against gay, like, like, it was a hit with the gay community, but it was, like, anti-gay people did not like the doll, so it was discontinued.
Or being attacked by the wind.
Oh, yeah. It's really windy today, so ignore that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was funny because those are actual dolls. And I actually never played with Barbies, so I can't attest to like a weird Barbie
A weird
being like a
Kennedy
common
great.
theme because
Yeah.
I never played with Barbies. I was a stuffed animal kid.
Stuffed animal kid.
I didn't really play with dolls. I think I thought dolls were kind of scary as a kid.
Dolls are scary, especially those baby ones. Terrifying.
Because I remember watching like, I think my cousin showed me like the trailer for Chucky, and I got really freaked out because Chucky's a doll.
Yeah.
So I had like a doll, and I would put it in like a box every night because I was scared that it was like gonna come alive. But then I started to get scared that the doll would start to resent me because I was putting it in a box. So then I was like, okay, I just gotta get rid of this doll.
Wow, the psyche of a young Myah.
Yeah, I was literally like,
Scared of a
oh my
doll.
god, this doll's gonna like hate me, and then it actually will come alive and kill me. Like, it will have justification.
See, this is why I treat all my Lego with kindness and hope.
That's good. Oh, one more thing I wanted to say. Well, I have more things to say about Barbie, but I thought Barbie has such like an obvious ad placement
Oh yeah,
for the
yeah.
cars. Like, the whole car racing scene was such an ad placement for, I think it was Ford,
Yeah, it was.
which was their car. And I just thought that was so, like, funny. I feel like it almost, like, added to the movie because it's, like, a movie about, like a product,
Yeah.
like
And
Barbie.
then there's another
And then
product.
there's, like, another layer of product placement within the product placement. Like, the movie's about a product. And then there's products that are being advertised within it. I can't remember if Ford was the only thing that was being advertised. Was there other product placement?
There might have been, but I can't remember. I just remember the really slow run before that product placement ad.
Yeah.
America Ferrera does towards Barbie in the like SWAT van.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. She like ran, but then like,
It's like,
what was she gonna do? Like nothing. Like they were in the car, they were zooming away. Like what was the point of running? Just get in the car and
yeah.
come after them. But I thought that was funny. It was so obvious too. Like it was not subtle in any way.
No.
Um.
There was a clear start and end.
Yeah. I also thought the music was very good in this. It was very catchy. Like the first scene, like the first two scenes where like Barbie's going through her morning routine, and she goes through her morning routine, but it's like messed up.
But again,
and like the soundtrack goes with like what's happening, and it's like it's interesting because I think like the movie kind of breaks the fourth wall at least once.
Yeah, one that I know of it very obviously.
Because when it was Margot Robbie, he's not the right person to cast.
Yep, that one.
Yeah. That was funny. I think, well, I remember when I saw it the first time, there's a lot of laughs for that in the theater.
I mean, it's funny, though, because it's true.
It is funny.
If you want someone to look ugly, don't choose Margot Robbie.
No. And then, what else? There's a narrator that comes and goes in the movie for Barbie. Mm-hmm. And then, like, the soundtrack also, like, goes along with what's happening in the movie, which I feel like doesn't, usually the soundtrack is, like,
it just like emphasizes what's happening rather than like being a part of the movie itself.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool. Because like Lizzo like literally like is like, girl, are you okay? Like in her song, which is kind of funny. And then I think my favorite song was the chase scene in Mattel where she's like running through the cubicles and it's like, oh Barbie, you're so fun. That was my favorite one.
I don't remember any of those songs.
And I will say, I did not like the montage at the end where she like decides to become human and they do like a whole montage.
Oh, of all the like women and such.
Yeah, like I did not like that because it was obviously stock footage.
Yeah.
And it was just not good. Like why they also picked like weird things that like weren't really that like powerful. Mm-hmm. But I forget what they were because they were so unmemorable. Like it wasn't even like I don't know, it wasn't like what it means to be human. Like I feel like they didn't do a good job representing what that was. So yeah.
The one thing that I feel should have been more memorable rather than the thing that is actually memorable, especially for a movie that's about empowering women and whatnot, is America Ferrera's monologue about being a woman.
Mm.
That's not remembered, but I'm just Ken is. And, like, how does that work?
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
How does the guy singing in a woman empowerment movie be the thing to be remembered?
I do think it's funny because I think a lot of people commented on how, like, Ken is, like, more of the star of the movie than Barbie is.
Yeah, he has, like, more
and like Greta,
storyline.
Yeah, and then Greta Gerwig kind of, like, screwed, like, she made a feminist movie about a man in a way, which is kind of funny. And I will say, I did have a comment that Ryan Gosling did such a good job with Ken.
He did.
And, like,
he played really his role perfectly.
He should act in more, like, comedic roles, because I feel like we don't see him doing that.
There's only one that comes to mind, and that's the RIPD thing, which is about dead people being police.
Never seen it, never heard it. But I thought he was really good. Like, his comedic timing was really good. And I think one of my favorite things that he did was, like, when Barbie was like, I'll be your long-term, low-commitment, whatever girlfriend. And then he's like, one sec. And then he goes back, and he goes, Sublime! And then he comes back. And I'm like, what the
straight-faced.
Like, Sublime? Who would say that? So random. But it fits so well. I was just like, what the fuck? But, like... It's funny. I thought it was good. I wonder if that was in the script or if that was like an ad-lib.
It probably was in this. Well, because of how weird this movie is, it could have gone either way.
That's true. It's hard to say.
But I will say, I wanted more Shudigawa. I need more of my doctor in there.
Oh yeah, he was good too. I thought I actually really liked Weird Barbie. Who was
Kate McKinnon?
Kate McKinnon.
She's
I thought she
fantastic.
did such a good job.
Yeah.
Like, she was really funny, and her comedic timing was really good, too.
She is a very, very funny lady.
Yeah. I really liked her a lot in that role. She did a good job. I'm just remembering her scenes. They're so funny.
I like when they're, like, making a plan at the Weird Barbie's house, and she just has her leg up against the wall.
I know. She's like, I'm sorry, I'm always in the splits, or something like that. It's so funny. But yeah. So I thought it was funny, and I thought it was fun. And Oppenheimer was serious and not funny.
Yeah.
So they were very different vibes.
But that's the point of Oppenheimer, so...
Right. That's not a judgment of
Although there were, like,
true.
some funny bits. Because he was a very sarcastic man in real life. And you can see that in the film, specifically when he's talking with General Groves about being able to be the head of the Manhattan Project. They go out, have that back and forth. I'd be like, maybe this could give me a Nobel Prize. A Nobel Prize for making a bomb? Well, Nobel was the first person to have a Nobel Prize, and he invented dynamite.
Oh, I do remember that. I didn't think it was that funny, though. Sorry.
Well, it's not like ha ha ha. It's like ha ha. You know?
Yeah. No. So, going into some of the reviews on Letterboxd, Oppenheimer did beat Barbie in this,
rating wise.
It received overall 4.2, and Barbie received a 3.9.
Whoa!
Which, those two aren't, like, very far, but I think Oppenheimer was more, positively reviewed than Barbie.
What did you give Barbie and Oppenheimer?
I gave Oppenheimer... I see you gave Oppenheimer 5 stars.
Obviously.
I forget what.
I gave Barbie 4 stars. It was tough between 3.5 and 4. I was like, give it 4. It was fun.
I gave Oppenheimer 4 stars. And I gave Barbie 4.5 stars. Okay. Which I feel like lines up. Like, I liked Barbie more than Oppenheimer. Mm-hmm. But I did like Oppenheimer as well. Okay, let's see. It's funny because the reviews of Oppenheimer on Letterboxd are so unserious. Like, let's see some of them. Cillian Murphy's face and bone.
Killian.
Oh, Cillian Murphy's face and bone structure. Full blown on IMAX. Thank you, Christopher Nolan. Like, a lot of them are kind of like thirsting over Cillian Murphy. Someone said buckle fat removal propaganda.
You read that one last time, yeah.
Someone said, it's so funny that this is a big summer blockbuster.
What?
I feel like because like
What a review.
a big like a summer blockbuster, you kind of think like upbeat and like
Avengers or something like that.
yeah, like or maybe like funny or like I don't know. But Oppenheimer's super dark and sad. Yeah, a lot of these reviews are just thirsting.
Over Cillian Murphy.
Someone said, I thought this would be a Christopher Nolan film I could actually understand, but I was wrong. Someone said, I'm Oppenhard.
Okay.
Someone said, oh, another thing that I wanted to comment about Oppenheimer. I think last episode I said, like, before I watched it, I remember hearing people, like, critique that the sex scenes were really out of place and long in the movie, or, like, unnecessary, but I feel like they were fine.
Yeah.
Like, when I watched the actual movie, like, it wasn't really that distracting, and it wasn't 15 minutes, I'm pretty sure of that, and it was, like, barely part of the movie. Like, it wasn't, like, distracting.
No. Like, in the grand scheme of the 3-hour movie, it's probably, like, what, 7 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, but, I remember people, like, complaining or critiquing that, but when I watched it, it literally was nothing. Like, it was barely...
Yeah.
So that was another point. Verdict. I didn't think I would like Oppenheimer, but I enjoyed it. And it was probably a one-time watch for me.
No! That's fine.
And it was good. And then Barbie, fun movie. I would probably watch it again, but not for a while. And it was funny. Mm-hmm. It was genuinely really funny. Mm-hmm. And very unexpected and weird. It took a lot of weird turns. It's kind of a weird movie.
It's a strange movie, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it was a fun one.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. How long was Barbie? 2 hours?
Yeah, about that. I don't know, like, if... Like, I saw it and I was like...
Under 2 hours.
Oh, okay. When I saw the trailer, I was like, this is weird. I don't know. And I was like, kind of want to see it, but also I don't. And now that I've seen it, I'm like, okay, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
Like, I'm not in a hurry to go see it again.
That's valid.
But Oppenheimer, I'll see that again, all the time.
I wonder how many times you can watch it before you actually get sick of it.
Well, never.
Oh.
Well, I mean, probably at some
you
point,
own 2 DVD copies now, so
that is true.
you can watch it in 2 screens at the same time.
Don't give me ideas.
Oh god, well, that was not an idea I wanted to
Surround sound, but with television.
Oh god, I don't... Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm reading American Prometheus, so clearly I enjoy the story and everything about Oppenheimer, so it's a very, very...
I think you just might be interested in bombs.
Well, not exactly. The physics of it is cool. The man behind it is cool. The people around him is cool. The politics and everything about it is cool. Did you just say
online that bombs are cool?
No.
That is not okay.
I did not say that.
This might be used as evidence one day.
Taking my words out of context. Next Oppenheimer. I gotta defend myself. Gotta keep my security clearance.
Well, good thing that the only thing going for you is that you're pursuing film and not physics anymore. If you were still pursuing physics, it might look a little fishy. But anyway, so this was our special episode.
Yes, it was.
A revisit of Barbenheimer
and
our thoughts.
Yep.
How many months has it been?
Like 6 months.
6 months later.
Probably about that.
Yeah, our thoughts 6 months later on Barbenheimer. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. And we'll see you next time. And I hope you like the new format.
Yeah.
This is our second time using it. And I really am liking it.
Third time
using it. And I'm really liking it. So let us know what you think in the comments. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.